Hello, and welcome to the Geeknd Live. Was that a seamless enough introduction for you? I'm quite proud of that. I think it worked. Anyway, welcome once again to this week's The Geeknd Live. If you're new to The Geeknd, this YouTube channel that you're currently watching, I am Jamie, and on this channel we make content on Star Wars, Marvel, and more. Once a week we do this live stream, which is very interactive. So we talk about a few stories in the Week of Geek, movie-related TV stuff, and we chat about it together, really. So we're very active in the chat. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know who's here, and let me know how you are. And also, if you're watching in the future on the replay, then I do check comments and reply to most of them as well. So if you are in the future, when I catch up to your time, I will respond to any comments that you leave in regards to the stories that we are discussing tonight, which include, where are my notes? Yes, the volume. So I'm a little bit obsessed with the volume, which is the kind of the green screen killer, I guess, that the Mandalorian's been using over in LA. So they've used this technology now for season 1. I think they improved it for season 2. The Mandalorian was a beautiful series in season 1, but looked even more beautiful in series 2. And the volume plays a big part of that. And it's now been brought to London for 2 projects. One is Ant-Man 3. We know that. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. But also, I'm guessing Andor as well. So the volume is spreading. Also, Attack the Block 2 has been confirmed. Probably John Boyega's finest work, I would say, and he's done a lot of fine work. If you don't know Attack the Block, it's probably, I guess, fair to say, a cult hit. And before Star Wars was really where John Boyega was best known, but not like, household name kind of territory. But still, Star Wars gave him that. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. And also, the Friends reunion. No, of course we're not. We're not talking about the Friends reunion on the Geeknd Live. Okay, panic over, everybody. Let's see who's in the chat to say hello to. I've said a hello a few times already in text form in the chat. Hello to David. Thank you again to David, who's created the logo for the chat batch, which we're doing on Mondays at the moment, looking back at the most recent episode of The Bad Batch, named by Sidge, by the way. So it's a real kind of collaboration, the chat batch. Peter's here, as well as Jane, and Glenn, the geeky hippie, is here as well. Hello to all of you, and to Phil Hawkins. Also, hello, mate. And Simon D is in the house with a howdy. And a hey yo from Richard Caleb as well. Yeah, the volume is such a great idea. Lucas's garage in every way. Yeah, I don't know if ILM invented the technology, the stagecraft technology, but either way, whether they did or not, they're pushing it, and that's in the tradition of Lucas filmmaking, isn't it? Star Wars, whether you like the scripts, whether you like some of the performances, you can never knock the technology that Star Wars films, whether it be the originals or the prequels, has pushed, in many ways for the first time. A lot of people don't like Jar Jar Binks. That's fine if you don't like Jar Jar Binks. But you can't tell me that you don't admire the fact that Ahmed Best, with a team behind him, was the first fully motion captured character in a movie. It was a pioneering moment, whether you like the character or not. So I am not. Maybe I am actually. Yeah, I suppose I could be. I'm a little bit Joey, aren't I tonight? Yes, it's a homage to the Friends reunion that we will not be discussing, Simon. Right. Okay. Something else that I'm going to throw in there as well is the Batman. If you don't like, if you're trying to avoid anything to do with the Batman, then maybe switch off for the next couple of minutes. Just going to bring this in as a little bonus, everybody. There was some official art for the Batman that was leaked this week, 8 hours ago, in fact. I think this article is late. I think it was actually yesterday. Joy Mitty. Now that would suit me. That would not be in line with my Joey tribute look, though, would it? Anyway, this is a calendar that got leaked for the Batman film, and it's given the first, I think, proper look at the Riddler. Let's have a look at this. So there's a nice look at Arpatz's bats there. Bats. It's growing on me, this outfit, this look. But also, as you can see here, some more artwork is included, obviously, in the calendar that's been leaked for 2022, obvs. And top right, you can see the Riddler there. But don't worry, I know that's a pretty small picture. There is a better one here somewhere further down the article. Paul Dano is the actor playing the Riddler. And there we go. There we go. Look at that. So we've got a closer look there at his mask, the Riddler mask. So yeah, these are like the first official, unofficial stills, images of the Batman that have been released of late, at least. There's been, obviously, there was the teaser trailer and a couple of stills were released, I think, in the Batmobile a little while back. But anyway, people seem to be having a good discussion online about this Riddler look. And he does look very menacing and scary. This is quite a departure from the last live action Riddler we saw on the big screen. I know there was the Gotham series, but it's quite different to the Batman Forever Jim Carrey Riddler. That's for sure. So yeah, there's not much in this article really. It's just based on those images, but I just thought I'd bring that up in case anyone hadn't spotted it and was interested. It's all right if you're not. We're moving on in a moment. It says here as well, the other intriguing thing to note about the Riddler's mask, this version of the Riddler's mask, is how close it resembles another Batman villain, Hush, which is quite interesting. But anyway, March the 4th, 2022 is when the Batman is finally due to drop. They've been shooting here in the UK and they have been riddled with pandemic-based issues, but I believe it's all in a good place now. Okay. Actually, most of Gotham City, I believe, is Liverpool, the city of Liverpool, and a bit of Glasgow as well. They haven't actually been doing much in London because in the Dark Knight trilogy, Gotham City was a mix of London and Chicago. But I don't believe they've been doing much in London on location. I think they've been in studios in London. But anyway, also, just want to do a little bit of housekeeping. If you haven't already, please don't forget to hit that like button. And while I'm in begging mode, if you haven't already, I'd love you. I do love you. I would love you to go and check out a video that I put up yesterday with Paul Sun-Hyung Lee, who played Carson Teva in The Mandalorian. You might remember he was These Are the Actors You're Looking For, our Star Wars interview series guest a few months ago. I put out a bonus clip the other day, and I'm really proud of it, just based on how lovely he is. He's talking through his reaction to that Luke Skywalker scene in The Mandalorian. Remember that? And he's talking about it not as an actor, not as someone who was in The Mandalorian. He's talking about it as a fan. And it is just pure fan joy. And as he, retells the story, he says himself, he's getting goosebumps even retelling it. And it's just a lovely clip. And if you haven't already, obviously, purely as well for algorithm purposes. If you can give it a like, leave it playing in the background so it gets that retention, leave a comment as well. But also, I'm genuinely proud of it in terms of the content from his mouth. You know, it's beautiful. That Luke Skywalker scene for me wasn't what got me going. When I saw it for the first time, I've said this a few times, I was actually more invested in what's going to happen. Right, okay, it's Luke. He's coming for Grogu. What's going to happen? Is Grogu going to go with him? Is he going to stay with Din? I don't think I'm ready for this, this duo to be separated yet. It took a while for me to actually really appreciate how amazing that Luke moment was. So, yeah, and also, sorry, just to say as well, I don't know if Chad's here for stopwatch keeping time purposes. Oh, he is. There he is. I need to do a quick stream tonight. So this will probably be, okay, it's not going to be 30 minutes. Sorry, Chad, but it's probably going to be closer to 40 minutes because it is somebody in my life, someone very special to me, very close to me, I should say. It's their birthday celebration. It's their life day celebration. So as we are pretty much in an open UK these days, we're going out for beers and curry is life. So I need to wrap up quite soon. I'm not going to reveal who it is, of course, whose life day it is. But again, somebody very close to me. David Milano is here. Welcome, David Milano. I'm glad that you made it. Let's just go through. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I don't know what is a joy. Oh, hey, Glenn, you're talking about I hope you're talking about the Paul Sun-Hyung Lee clip that I'm talking about, or was talking about. I'm going to go back from, I realize this has already been a mess, this stream. I'm going from one thing to the other. But what I'm going to do for this stream is do each story and then come to the chat rather than last week when I did every story back to back, and then came to the chat. So let's see what people are saying. If anyone said anything about Batman. Is the Batman just going to be a one-off film? As far as I know, yeah. I don't think they've announced that this is going to be a new series with R-Bats, or if it's a Joker style, just going to be a sort of one-off in its own kind of time and place. But maybe somebody else in the chat can give us more on that. Hello to you, Dale. Peter, regarding the volume, which we're going to talk about soon, too much CGI in the prequels is part of the problem, I think. Yeah, I think as well. But then again, when you Attack of the Clones, yeah. But when the Phantom Menace was actually, there was a lot of location work and quite a lot of practical effects in the Phantom Menace, more than we think. I think it really kind of ramped up for Attack of the Clones when they went to Australia to the new Fox studios there. But then again, the CGI like Jar Jar was so pioneering, and Ahmed Best has a quote that I'm going to paraphrase here as best I can. It's something like, Jar Jar walked so the Navi could fly. If we didn't have Jar Jar, we wouldn't have Gollum. Okay, we probably would have, but it might take longer. So whatever you think to Jar Jar, again, pioneering. And of course, there was a team with Ahmed as well. Jane Flakes has lost track of Batman of late. What generation is this? The last one I bought was Lego Batman. There's a few Lego Batman comments here, actually, including from Phil. Lego Batman might just be my favorite ever Batman film. And Simon as well. Lego Batman is still my favorite. Then Affleck, then Bale. If you met them, would you tell them that ranking? The fact that they've been beaten by a character made of bricks, an actor made of bricks. Would you tell them? Because Bale's got a temper on him. Be careful there. Yeah, David, smash that like button, all of you. A crime backdrop based in Liverpool and Glasgow seems unlikely. I agree. They're cities that have no history of crime. Why on earth would they choose such a place to set Gotham City, a crime-riddled city like Gotham, in? And there is some more love for Lego Batman here from Richard as well. Okay, I think I'm back up. There was a message that made me laugh here. Happy birthday, Wimeris. It's not Wimeris's birthday. And also, happy Life Day from David to our friend Mr. Wilmers. What? It's not his birthday. It's not his birthday. But yes, that is a good idea. I probably should, as Chad says here, use fake characters' birthdays as a reason to drink, because there's not enough reasons to drink. One more on Lego Batman from Phil. It's a shame we're unlikely to get a sequel to Lego Batman. I think the studio that was making them announced that they weren't making any more Lego movies. Well, there'll be a lot of disappointed people in this chat, including Jane Flakes, who enjoyed the Lego Batman as we discussed earlier. It was so silly and fun. Shame there will be no more. It's Cher's birthday today as well. It's also Mr. Oliphant's birthday as well. Mr. Fake Boba. I think it is. I saw something on Twitter earlier. It might have been yesterday. It all blurs into one these days. Dave Milano is giving a +1 to the Lego Batman. Hello, Chrome Dome. I think it's the first time I've seen you, Chrome Dome, in a live stream. Regular in the comments on the videos. Good to see you, my friend. All right, let's go into the second story. Sorry if I've missed anything. It's not on purpose. Right, I got to share another screen. We are now going to take a look at the volume. We've already had a few comments on that. I don't know if anyone saw, but Peyton Reed, of course, with his Mandalorian connections, is in the UK at the moment, and he's back in the volume. Not the LA volume, the Pinewood Studios. I never realized Pinewood Studios is in a place called Ivor Heath, but that's apparently exactly where Pinewood Studios is. It's just out of London in Ivor Heath. And he's there for Ant-Man free. And as you can see there is Hoff. Hoff is in Ant-Man free. That's exciting, isn't it? So this is cool. This is cool. I'm a huge fan of this technology. And it was talked about coming to the UK. I mean, it makes sense because, this is the future. I think especially for like modern TV making, the kind of high budget, high drama, high production values TV that we get everywhere, these days for streaming platforms. I'm surprised to see it being used for a big film so soon. I mean, I'm not surprised because it looks good enough to me anyway, mostly. But I guess, I was kind of not imagining it would be used so soon in a big budget movie like Ant-Man. But it makes sense that they brought it to Pinewood because not just Pinewood, but the UK in general, home to a lot of Star Wars, a lot of Marvel, and a lot of other big franchises that use or could use this type of technology. And if you don't know the volume, it was really first used by Lucasfilm, at least, for The Mandalorian season 1. So very, very little in The Mandalorian is actually on location, which was a surprise to me, I have to admit. I mean, obviously, I knew they were going to build sets and build some great sets. But I assumed, they'd gone to, the desert. I assumed they'd gone to the desert because, they've done that before for Tatooine, California, Death Valley, and all that. But no, it's all created in this studio space called the Volume. And this is another little picture. Chrome Dome, I've still got your comment up. I hope you're enjoying this extended cameo. So yeah, it's just amazing, and the actors love it because it's sort of it's a fake environment, obviously, but instead of being a boring plain green or blue screen, they can see it, obviously, and they can react to it, and the environment reacts to them. So say you're on a speeder bike, gliding through the Tatooine desert, it will adapt accordingly. And like I said earlier, it's really great to see Star Wars, at the forefront of pushing new technology like it always has before. And it's now been passed on, if you like, to Ant-Man, to a big, I would presume, cinema release. So Ant-Man is here in the UK, Peyton Reed on directing duty, and they are using the volume, and they're also using the volume over in LA at the moment. I imagine they used it for the Book of Boba a lot, which is wrapped. I believe that's official, and Kenobi's using it in the UK, in LA at the moment. And Ewan McGregor, who famously, he hasn't had that many nice things to say about his experience on the prequels, and one of the things he complained about a lot wasn't the paychecks. It was all the green screen and the blue screen. He moaned about that a lot, but I've noticed that he's been when he's been popping up in interviews recently since they started shooting, he's been gushing about the volume, and purely for the simple fact that he can see what's supposed to be around him. I'm not an actor, huh? Who knew? But I can imagine, I can completely get that it must, just really help your performance, add some soul, I suppose, as well. And I'm assuming as well that Ant-Man, I don't know if Ant-Man's purely shooting in the volume. I imagine they'll go out on location around the UK and perhaps Europe, as well as use regular sound stages on at Pinewood. So I'm assuming, if they haven't already, that Andor will be going into it at some point, because Andor is shooting at Pinewood. They released a few of those sizzle reels, and I think Kathleen Kennedy, if I'm allowed to say her name, is that okay? I think she said at one point they're going to build a volume in London. But this picture that Peyton Reed put on Twitter is the first, as far as I know, the first kind of public reveal that the volume has arrived in London. So I can only imagine that if Andor hasn't already been in it, Andor will be using it when they stop touring around the UK. Every week when I go online, I see a story about another location Andor have been in. They've been in the north of England to Blackpool. They've been in Dorset or Cornwall. They've been in central London. Man, they've been in that weird little village place with the big green crane. I've got the picture of that still, actually. Let's have a look at the big green crane, just for old time's sake. It's been a while. So, yeah, I'm assuming Andor will be using the volume at some point as well. So that's really cool, because I love this technology, and it's only going to get better. I don't know what you guys think, but I feel like there was a definite jump in quality from Mandalorian Season 1 and Season 2 in terms of the environments. And I think I'm right in saying that there was only one real location used in Season 2, and that was, I can't remember the episode, but when the Dark Troopers captured Grogu in that kind of like canyon type place. I believe that was a real location. In fact, a few people in LA have told me that it's a popular hiking spot. I think David Milano might have told me that. But anyway, let's see what you guys think to whatever I've just said. All right. I'm just getting back to where I was in the chat. Yeah, it is the big 360 thing that they use for Mando. Glenn, meet Chrome Dome. Chrome Dome, meet Glenn. Right. Chad Campbell is in the house. Ant-Man movies have always kind of hits. Tie with Solo at the box office. So if this tech exists to make things look great for cheaper, I expect they'll use it on a lot of things. Yeah, like I'm easily tricked, but again, with a lot of the Mandalorian, I thought they had gone to locations, the ones that were, kind of earthly looking at least. So for me, it looks great. And going on location is expensive because obviously there's a lot of pre-production involved. You've got to get location scouts. You've got to go out off and do recce's. You might have to pay people to use their properties, or at least to, if you're having to force businesses to close for a day or something, you're going to have to sort of, give them some money to cover their losses. You've got to employ stewards, marshals to sort of encourage the public to keep away. Obviously, you've got to move everyone to the location. If it's far away, there might be hotel costs and all that. So going on location, even though it is the most realistic option that you can possibly get, it's not cheap. And the volume isn't cheap, but it's cheaper, I guess. So this is probably the way. This is the way. I imagine that a lot of these franchises are going to go now. I suppose, it's already in the couple of years we've known about it. It's now already being used for a cinematic release. I don't know if it's already been used for a cinematic release. As far as I know, it hasn't. As far as I know, Ant-Man is the first one. Andor went on a stag do to Blackpool. It's true. In fact, it wasn't actually Blackpool itself, but a town near Blackpool that I can't remember the name of in Lancashire. Yeah, the Robert Rodriguez episode was shot on location. Yeah, that's the one. Simon D worked on a film at Pinewood. You drove to Ivor Heath. And it was a few days of green screen. After only half a day, everyone's energy noticeably dropped. It started to do my head in after an hour. Yeah, I imagine all that green wood, not that kind of green, the green that you're talking about here. Yeah. I can imagine it's not very stimulating. So having, again, that interactive, immersive environment around you must be so much better for the actors, and surely inspire better performances out of them as well. I think I skipped a load of comments, but not on purpose. Kino's here. Chad Campbell here. This will be like CG was to traditional animation. Most things will start filming using this tech now, and shooting in real life will be some artsy or gutsy thing like 2D animation has become. Yeah, it's not good news for my location videos that I occasionally do, because it does seem to be the beginning of the end, at least. Chrome Dome says, Disney came to my hometown, tiny little mountain town, to shoot a Lone Ranger. Dumped tens of millions on getting the crew there and stuff. The volume saves so much dollars. Yeah. Again, money drives. Money makes decisions. Jane Flakes, I love what they've done with the volume. It is amazingly beautiful. Yeah, if you don't know much about the technology, because I know not everybody's that interested in the behind the scenes stuff. I put a video link in the video description for this stream that will take you to an ILM kind of explainer video. It's really cool, and it will show you a lot of the Mandalorian stuff that was done. Hey, who's seen Attack the Block? I want to know, because I know we have a mixed group in terms of from where people are around the world, and Attack the Block I feel is like a cult hit at best. So I feel like most people for sure were introduced to John Boyega through Star Wars, and that's completely understandable. I saw Attack the Block. That was my actual introduction to John Boyega, but I didn't know it. It was when he got announced for Star Wars. I didn't see his name in the press release and think, oh yeah, him from Attack the Block. I was then reminded, and was like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, it is him from Attack the Block. So they have finally announced that the sequel is coming. Here is an article from Digital Spy. Attack the Block 2. Look how young John Boyega is. Look at him. Fresh-faced Finn. Hey. I really like John Boyega. I'm going to talk a little bit about him actually in relations to Star Wars in a moment. But Attack the Block, if you haven't seen it, man, I'm feeling old right now. 2011, the original came out. And again, cult hit. I did some research because, I'm very professional ahead of these streams. And it had a budget of £8 million, dollars, post-Brexit pounds to dollars. It's probably 11 million, 12 million. And at the box office, it made £4.1 million. I assume because it's in pounds. I assume that's the domestic, UK domestic box office, but I don't know. I couldn't find a global box office, but I imagine, partly probably triggered by John Boyega's rise to fame with Star Wars, it's probably done a lot more than that since, with on-demand streaming and DVDs, Blu-rays, whatever else as well. But yeah, like a decade later, the smash cult hit Attack the Block, a sequel is in the works. Though the original film didn't set the box office alight, the performance of its breakout star, John Boyega, and writer-director Joe Cornish, I am a big fan of Joe Cornish's work, in many, many lines of his work, led to positive reviews and a celebrated spot in the sci-fi genre. Though rumors had been circulating about a reunion between Boyega and Cornish for a while, the definitive announcement of a sequel came on Monday, this Monday, May the 17th, to a wealth of excitement online. So it's coming, but this is really fresh. This is like they just got the news out there with very little else on top. So there's no release date or anything like that. Plenty of room to speculate, of course, but there's no solid details apart from the fact that Cornish and Boyega are reuniting, and there will be Attack the Block 2, which is very exciting if you enjoyed the original. And it kind of gets me thinking about John Boyega again. I think about him a lot. I really do. But no, just if you don't know Attack the Block, I should tell you as well, just found one of the descriptions here, the synopsises. The film centers on a teenage street gang who have to defend themselves from predatory alien invaders on a council estate in South London on Guy Fawkes night. And it came out on the 11th of May, 2011. So it really is a decade old now. So yeah, be good to see Boyega back in that role. Yeah, I do really like John Boyega. I had the opportunity to meet him once, and he was great. He genuinely was great, and I'm pretty honest about who I meet and what the experiences are really like, especially if you know my Patreon. So he really was just a top bloke, down to earth. And I've said many times before, I like the sequels. There's a lot of things I really like about the sequels. Star Wars, of course, I'm talking here. But I also think there were a lot of missed opportunities. And I think Finn was a missed opportunity. I thought was a pretty interesting character. That premise of, humanizing a stormtrooper to begin with. And, the hints as to whether he could be force sensitive or not. He was one of the characters I was really looking forward to seeing more of after the Force Awakens, and I don't think they did enough with his character. And I don't feel sorry for John Boyega about that, because he's been in 3 Star Wars films. That's 3 more than me, and it has completely, launched his career. He's so busy. He's doing so many good things. He doesn't need to come back to Star Wars. There's talk that Daisy Ridley will come back, and there was even talk that she needs to come back because she said herself that she's struggling to get auditions. I don't know how true that is and how pandemic related that was, because it was said like 6-7 months ago or something. But John Boyega does not need to come back to Star Wars, and I wouldn't blame him if he didn't. And for me, that was one of the biggest missed opportunities. The lack of developing Finn after the Force Awakens. I know a lot of people, for example, would cite the biggest missed opportunity as not having the old gang all together, at least for a scene. And I get that, and that would be on my list. But I think Boyega or Finn is higher up on my list. A superb talent, and John Boyega is a tremendous actor, and Finn was an interesting character. And I don't think. I think, like we said last week, in 10 years' time, he could come back. They could do something with the sequel trilogy characters and actors. But I think if they try to do it now, they might get Daisy Ridley. But I do not think they would get John Boyega for a long time. Anyway, I want to know what you guys think of Attack the Block and maybe Boyega and Finn in general. So I'm coming over to the chat for the last time, because remember, it's somebody's life day. All right. Curry's waiting. It's a bit early for curry, but beers are waiting, and then curry later. Right, I'm coming back to the chat. Where was I? All right, we'll start with this because it's about Attack the Block. Attack the Block was awesome, says Glenn, the geeky hippie. Well, Glenn's in the States. I know it's certainly a cult hit in the States, and it is here. To be fair, it is here. It wasn't a mainstream, as we discussed already, box office success. Even here in the UK, it's country of origin, and Chrome Dome thought it was surprisingly good. Glenn, we're talking green again, but not green screen, I don't think. Glenn, the geeky hippie, has also added that it's a good stoner movie. Jane Flakes, I saw Attack the Block. It was remarkably good, but I love Joe Cornish from his Adam and Joe days. Yeah, I'm with you there, Jane. If you don't know Adam and Joe Cornish being the Joe and the Adam and Joe, check out some of their work, some of their podcasts. You will probably not regret it. Dave Milano, in regards to green screen, for sure, I think he acted in one green screen project, and it requires a lot of imagination, like theatre, not nearly as immersive as having a practical set. I agree. Well, I mean, I haven't been in that position, but I can imagine. Therefore, I agree. I can use my imagination because you have triggered me. You have inspired me to use my imagination, David Milano. Thank you. Chad Campbell, I watched Attack the Block after the cast got announced. Oh, so you saw the Star Wars Force Awakens announcement, and that introduced you to Attack the Block. I imagine Star Wars did introduce a lot of people to Attack the Block because of Boyega. And Glenn, the geeky hippie, that exactly happened to him. I watched it because Boyega was in it, and I wanted to see his acting before The Force Awakens came out. Yeah, okay, Chad has clarified there. Simon D, Attack the Block came out during the London 2011 riots, so flopped on first release. People didn't want... yeah. 20... Was that the year of the riots? Man. I remember that. We were like so safe. Not that anybody was going to bother with our little flat off Brick Lane at the time. But we there wasn't much going on around where we were. A lot of it was in South London, wasn't it? Really, but actually there was a bit around Aldgate East, and we were really safe though because the police were using our little road as like a base for all their vans. So they were just there. So nobody was coming near us. But yeah, they were strange times, but probably not as strange as the current strange times. There's been a lot of strange times, but yes, violent chaps. I agree. Frogger, hello, mate. Welcome. We're wrapping up soon, but I'm glad that you made it. Yeah, we'll check out Attack the Block. No, Chrome Dome, you have seen Attack the Block. Yeah, I think Boyega. I think Boyega can do it all. I think he can do serious drama. I think he can do comedy as well. I honestly do think he is an amazing talent. I really do. So thank you, Star Wars, for giving him to us, because it did elevate his career. There's no denying that. And yes, Jodie Whittaker as well. So maybe if you are a Doctor Who fan, like Phil is, if you go and check out Phil's channel, he does Doctor Who content, you will see a younger Jodie Whittaker, Doctor Who in it as well. Who knows if she'll return? I feel like if, I know she's Doctor Who. Is she still Doctor Who? I assume she is. I feel like, if Boyega's involved, then whoever needs to come back in terms of the story will come back. Welcome, Daniel. Good to see you, my friend. Yes, Dale, she was. You are right. Phil was right. It is true. I'm just skipping through some of the chats. I'm going to wrap this up in a moment. Star Wars Meg. Hello, Star Wars Meg. Finn was great in 8, but JJ ruined him. Yeah, I mean, there was nothing really, was there? I'm trying to think of Finn in 9, apart from him riding a space horse. I can't. there's very few memories of that movie in my mind right now. If you said think Finn in the Rise of Skywalker, all I can think right now is him riding a space horse. That's all I can picture right now. He seems to be having fun, at least on that space horse. But who wouldn't be? Right. Chrome Dome saying the biggest miss in the new trilogy is not enough Phasma. Chad adds the biggest mess in the sequels is marketing things like there would be a lot of Phasma. That's true. Dave Milano, I think regardless of whether politics may have played out behind the scenes, the biggest problem with the sequels was the lack of any plan. Yeah, and it's true. They haven't even denied it. And without self-promoting, there's a clip of me with Ryan Johnson somewhere on the channel. And, I asked him, so this was at the Last Jedi press junket. I asked him, what was I think I said, this was a very different film to what I was expecting. What was the handover like between you and JJ? Did you meet up, to sort of hand over the baton and compare notes, etc.? He's like, no. It's pretty much like, okay, here's the keys, go off and do your own thing. So they haven't even denied that. So I absolutely agree with that. Yes, got to go and celebrate Life Day with Maris. What? Yes, we shouldn't say chavs. We shouldn't say chavs. You're right, Geeky Media. Francis, welcome. The whole series of Adam and Joe is on BritBox UK. I don't have BritBox. But if anyone has, there you go. Chad, even if you read the original Trevorrow script, either version of 9 was not going to be good. And that's all due to the lack of a consistent narrative and oversight. Yeah, I think fundamentally it all comes down to that lack of planning. But then I've seen a lot of people, I never read whatever was leaked in terms of the Trevorrow script. I saw like some people talking about it. And it seemed like a lot of people were loving it, but I don't know if that was more of a kind of like in a rebellious way to what they actually ended up with. But yeah, who knows? Oh yeah, he did shout Ray. He really bellowed Ray, didn't he? Yeah. Okay, that's true. I've got that. And it wasn't while he was riding a space horse, because that would be some impressive multitasking if he did manage to bellow Ray whilst riding a space horse, because he's very concentrated when he shouts Ray. That was before they entered the Death Star, wasn't it? Death Star 2, the ruins. If there's anything I've missed, copy and paste it back in, because I'm pretty much now at the end of the chat. Bill Burr from Mando is also in Breaking Bad. You should interview him, Jamie. I love Breaking Bad. And anyone involved. I've got an interview with Skinny Pete that I recorded about 8 months ago for the channel and haven't uploaded it. Actually, that reminds me. I would love to interview Bill Burr. I think you get a very fun and honest interview as well. Or open, at least, which is honest. So I want to know, because I know some of you here have channels and stuff, and some of you do streams. Phil, you've been testing streams recently, haven't you? This is a question and a moan. When you schedule a live stream, do you lose subscribers, or is it just me? Like, I get that you might want to unsubscribe by the end of the stream if you make it to the end, but I'm losing that. It's getting worse. I'm losing about 10 or 15 when I schedule the stream, and then afterwards, blimey, the floodgates open. I feel like shouting Ray as loud as John Boyega did. That's what we do. We blame Star Wars personnel, don't we, in situations like this? Just keeps happening. And I just want to know if it's normal, because I'm not actually moaning really. I'm trying to figure out why, because the videos that get me subscribers are pretty Star Wars orientated, and the streams are fairly Star Wars orientated. There's the odd, and this is why I brought it up, there's the odd Breaking Bad video, which I'm not going to do anymore. I will put the Skinny Pete interview up though, which, yeah, there's not much crossover maybe in terms of fans as there is for something like Marvel. I think there's a lot of crossover between Marvel and Star Wars in terms of the fandoms. So I get that maybe if you subscribe for my Breaking Bad video and then you see a Bad Batch video, you might be like, well, what's this? What is this new devilry? And unsubscribe. But it's happening more and more to the point where it's only going to be, there's 15 people in the stream right now. It's going to just be me and you, basically, at some point, and maybe Womerus if we invite him in one day. So is this normal? Because at the moment, I'm in one of my little kind of stunted periods where it's not the channel's not growing anyway. So I imagine everybody does lose subscribers to a certain extent, but if you're growing at the same time, you don't notice the loss so much. So I'm just wanting to know, like, do I need to start a second channel for streaming, which seems ridiculous because this channel's small as it is, or is it just normal? You know, I've got to ride it out. So if anyone knows who has experience of this, I don't think anybody knows how YouTube works, but if anyone does know if it's a normal thing or if it's just me, I would love to know because I just want to find out why. Good point from Dave Milano here. Star Wars and Breaking Bad both take place on a desert planet. What's not to love? Yeah, I am going to put up the, I agree. And I am going to put up the Skinny Pete interview. I'm doing like a kind of casual series called Geeking Out With. And it will be, because, you know, I love doing interviews. And obviously there's the Star Wars interview series. So I can't interview a non-Star Wars person for the Star Wars interview series. So I'm going to be putting out, like, you know, when I interviewed Richard Brake about The Mandalorian, Fallon Hess, I also interviewed him about Batman and Game of Thrones as well. So, you know, that would go into the Geeking Out With series, if you like. And there'd be no like kind of release schedule, just be as and when kind of thing, but Skinny Pete can go in that. But generally I'm going to stick to Star Wars and Marvel, mostly Star Wars and a bit of Marvel content for a while now, to see if that kind of, you know, steadies the ship a little bit. But again, not that I've been deviating much. I've not been deviating much. Maybe it's personal. Maybe it's since I changed my hair. I don't know. But the lockdown did that to me. Hello, Stanley. Good to see you, my friend. Right, this is almost ending up being as long as a normal stream. And I said it was going to be a quick one. But if anyone knows anything about what I just mentioned, please let me know. I can see Phil has been testing streams. Yes, you've only done one. It wasn't happening at the beginning. It's just been recently going crazy. Like last week, we talked about it briefly. I lost about 30. Crazy, man. Yeah, and if you haven't had a chance, please go and check out that Paul Sun Hyung Lee clip as well. And also, before I forget, because I do often forget, thank you to all Patreon members, and thank you everybody who has joined. And now I will tell you right at the end, it's my birthday celebration, but I don't like talking about birthdays and stuff, so that's why I'm not bringing it. I didn't bring it up at the beginning. So I kind of did a Paul Bettany on you, you know, where he said there's this amazing cameo. I got to work with someone very close to me, etc., etc. I did a Paul chicken Caesar salad Bettany on you. It's my birthday. Actually, it was my birthday yesterday, but we couldn't do some mates couldn't do the kind of celebration thing until tonight. So I've gone for beers and then a nice stinky curry afterwards. So very excited for the curry. Right, I'm going then. Thank you, everybody. And see, I'm getting questions now about age and stuff, so that's why I didn't bring up the birthday. And it's time to go now. Goodbye, everyone. Hope you have a good week. And I will be back on Monday for another chat batch live review. And also to lose another 30 subscribers. Hello, guys. And thank you for the birthday wishes that are coming in. And yes, curried pork is on the menu. So I'm going off now for the aforementioned curried pork. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.